Hello everyone, can you hear me? Great. So, hi guys, it's been a long time since we had a online session, and I really want to thank the team who took initiative to get this out. Um, Varun, Ritesh, um, there's Satish in the chat, and Vishwajeet, and everyone who contributed to it. Right, you get the post, so that was done by Rajda, Rishiraj, Anjali, and others who helped out to get this, and Arnav for coordinating the efforts. So, yeah, so a lot of thanks to everyone, and a lot of thanks to you guys for joining in at this time. I know you are having daily classes, and it's very hectic for you guys, but thanks a lot for coming in. I really appreciate that. And yeah, so why do I have this on the screen? The Developer Student Club page. The reason is that uh, it's a good news that we are looking forward to the next batch of Developer Student Club leads, and the application has started today morning. So what you need to do is basically you just have to click on lead a DSC. Let me zoom in case you're not able to see. So there's this button lead a DSC, and you can click that. You'll be taken to the leads portal, and you just have to click this big blue button, right, which says become a lead, and you will be able to see this form. And in case you want this form in a different language, this is what you choose. Otherwise, you just click here and you move on to the next part. So once you come here, there are a few things which you'll have to fill. I'll talk about these at the end of this session. Meanwhile, I'll ask Varun to take over and continue with the design forum for which you guys are here. So, Varun, can you please take over?
Yeah, cool. So, hello everyone. I am Varun Vishal. So, basically, what is the main motive of this forum and what we are going to do? So, here we will introduce you to the world of designing using platforms like Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, and XD. Interactive sessions will be held, and we will try our best to ensure that you know all that thing which is important to know for creating simple, elegant, and beautiful designs for your projects. So this is about me. I am a second year information technology student at Netaji Subhash Engineering College. I am a UI UX designer, a web developer, graphic designer, and a volunteer at WTM and GDG Kolkata. And you can know more about me by going to that link, gordon.dsc.com. So let's get started. So uh, we are planning to make the coming few weeks of your quarantine a bit more colorful, as well as pave the way for your budding designers in you. So the types of design which we are going to discuss in this upcoming days. So the first type is graphic design. So the graphic design largely deals with just visual aspects, which can also be found within other media like animations and videos. And you know what, Steve Jobs once said that design is not what it looks like, design is how it works. And okay, excuse me, just uh, am I audible or not? Okay, okay. uh, cool. So, as I said that once Steve Jobs said that design is not what it's look like, and design it how it works. So by that he didn't mean any technology behind the scenes, but the way how people use and interact with something. That's why we will learn about the second type of design, that is UI UX design. That means user interface and user experience design. UI design is the total concept and the whole complex of text, images, layouts, animations, videos, or anything to engage with the user. Colors, lines, shapes, patterns, and icons, all kinds of imaginary and ornaments. They all belong in both these domains, both in the graphic designing and in the UI UX designing. Here comes the third part, illustration and logos. So, how many of you are front end developer? Just anyone? Okay, cool. Hi, Fazbear, Saptarshi. Okay, so many of you are front end developer here. So, what is the most difficult task in the front end? I guess the landing page. Am I correct? Or is there anything else in which you face issues? It's buffering a lot, maybe due to the bad connection, because mine is not buffering. Yeah, so landing page is very hard to design. And if you want to uh, decrease that tension in your mind, then the best thing you can do is use flat illustrations. Flat illustrations helps them a lot, and every company and every organization needs a logo. So even logo is important. So we will discuss about each of them in detail in our upcoming sessions. But for now, let's move to the next slide. Okay, 7 principles of design. Cool. So the principles of design are the rules a designer must follow to create an effective and attractive composition. The fundamental principles of design are emphasis, balance and alignment, contrast, repetition, proportion, movement, and white space or negative space. These are the 7 fundamental principles of design. There are many more, I guess, but these things you should keep in mind while designing. So, emphasis. Take a look at this picture. A poster designed by someone for some like concert. So, say you're creating a poster for a concert, then you should ask yourself that what is the first piece of information my audience need to know? Is it the band or the concert venue? What about the day and the cost of attending? If the band's name is the most essential information, then place it in the center, because that will emphasize the audience that yes, this band is performing then and I have to go there. So, and just try to make it the biggest element on the poster, or you could put it in the strongest, boldest type, so that the audience will get to know that this band is performing and it is clearly visible throughout the poster. So this is what emphasis means. Now the next principle, that is balance and alignment. Okay, never forget that every element you place on a page has a weight. The weight can come from color, even size or texture. So just like you wouldn't like you wouldn't pull all your furniture in one corner of a room, na? Like if you have a room, then everything should be well aligned and well placed. Similarly, you can't crowd all your heavy elements in one area of your composition. And symmetrical design creates balance through equally weighted elements aligned on either side of a center line. So let's assume that on your artboard there is a central line for the both axes. Then you have to work according to that. Like on the left of central line, if it is 8 pixels, then you have to place something on the like right hand side of the central line of even same width, like 8 pixels, so that any uniformity is there in their design. Okay, some of them say that it's buffering a lot, so don't worry guys. We are recording this session and we will upload it on our YouTube channel as well, so you can watch it there. And yeah, so the next principle is contrast. So what is basically contrast? So contrast is what people mean when they say a design pops. So it comes away from the page and sticks in your memory. Contrast creates space and difference between elements in your design. Similarly, you can see like in this design, the background is so colorful, yet the content is clearly visible. So your background needs to be significantly different from your color of your elements so they can work harmoniously together and are readable. So what are the next principles? Yeah, here comes repetition. So it's not like repeating anything will make your design ugly or like that, but repetition, if you limit yourself to like two strong typefaces or three strong colors, you will soon find that you will have to repeat same things, and that's okay, you can repeat it. It's often said that repetition unifies and strengthens a design. Okay, there is a comment, sorry, but we are getting nothing. Some of us are at native places. Okay, but if I just like decrease the resolution from my side, then it will be very difficult for you guys to read it. So I don't think it is a good idea. We will upload this video on our YouTube channel, so you can watch it later on like lower resolution. There is no issue in that. Okay. So the next principle, proportion. So basically, what is proportion, and why would anyone like even think of these principles while designing? Anyone can do anything. Like they have the brush, they have to paint, they can do it in anything, like anyway. But if you will follow these principles, it will be like the design will come out like even more colorful and even more like accurate, which the user will like. So like you have to follow these principles. So yeah, proportion. The proportion is the visual size and weight of elements in a composition and how they relate to each other. It often helps to approach your design in sections instead of as a whole. Proportion can be achieved only if all elements on your design are well sized and thoughtfully placed. So it is not like that if you are designing and if it is a band concert, then the whole like the artboard should be of a guitar and anything like that. Just you have to show some key pieces. If it is related to any tech event, then you don't have to like place a big keyboard on the screen. You can use it, you can use icons for that. That is what icons are for. So like this is why proportion is important. That design, if you are placing any element on your design, then it should be well sized and thoughtfully placed. So once you master alignment, balance and contrast, proportion will like emerge automatically. It is like it is quite organic. If you are learning something, like if you are following some strict information about something, then it will come automatically in your mind. So don't need to worry about that. So the next principle is movement. So take a look over this picture here, this poster. So yeah, yeah. For like just going back to our concert poster, if you decided the band was the most important piece of information on the page and the venue was the second, then how would you communicate that with your audience? How would you convey this message to your audience that this band is performing, but where? That is also important. No? So venue is also important, also an important information. So in that situation, movement is a very good thing to know. So movement is basically controlling the elements. Movement is controlling the elements in a composition so that the eye is led to move from one to the next and the information is properly communicated to your audience. And suppose if anything is placed like that, the band's image is in the center and its venue is on the top left at very small, in very small size, so the audience will find it very difficult to like know that where this band is performing, and then it will not consider as a good design. That is a good design which in which the audience should look and then just tell that okay, this band is performing here on this time or this date. So one look and yeah, the audience should know everything about that. Okay, and also that movement creates the story or the narrative of your work. So this is also important. Okay, yeah, Anubhav, yeah, we will do a survey about this. We will create a Google form because I think that resolution will matter from the next session. But yeah, sure. So the next principle is white space. Okay, I have taken like full slide for this. White space or negative space. This is very important to understand for any designer. So like as the text say, all of the other element deals with what you add to your design. White space or negative space is the only one that specifically deals with with what you don't add. White space is exactly that, the empty page around the elements in your composition. And for like as I was when I started designing, this was like a hectic job for me to deal with this negative space. But yeah, Ritik bhaiya was there, Arnab bhaiya and Faz bhaiya was there, who guided us well so that we don't feel that kind of issue. So for beginning designers, it can be a perilous zone. Often simply giving a composition more room to breathe so that it looks good, nothing more. But negative point, what is negative space to be precise? So the empty space on your design or the blank space where you can use some graphic elements to fill, then that is a what that is a white space. So negative space defines and emphasizes the main subject of a photo. Like it provides breathing room, giving your eyes somewhere to rest and preventing your image from appearing too cluttered. If you are not like giving some fixed amount of spacing in your image or design, then it will like look very cluttered and no one will like your design. So all of this add up to more engaging composition. When used properly, negative space provides a natural balance against the positive space in a scene. So getting this balance right is tricky. Yeah, it's very tricky and rather subjective. But it's something you will get better at with time and practice. So nothing to worry about. Just give some time to your designing and do some like sample projects. It will help you. Okay, so that was all from my side today. Next, I would hand over to Vishwajeet Raj, who is going to speak about the basic designing tips and tricks. Yeah, Vishwajeet, you can take over.
Hello, am I audible? I'm Vishwajeet Raj, IT undergraduate, a second year student from Netaji Subhas Engineering College. I am a UI UX designer, web developer, graphic designer for DSC NSEC, volunteer at GDG Kolkata. That would be my introduction. Now we're going to talk about basic designing tips. Choosing contrasting colors, keep it simple with the fonts, consistent elements are key, sketch and scan. Utilize the flight design technique, use icons, alignment, lines create style and impact. Now choosing contrasting color. The main goal here is to get the audience attention and invoke a particular emotion. Now, the picture that you see right on the screen shows you various colors. This is a screenshot from the flatui.com. There are various other resources like imagecolorpicker.com. You can Google it, color resources, anything. You'll get a lot of various different options. Now, if you can't find any color that suits your design, you can just pick colors from the background image that you're using for your design. Keep it simple with the fonts. When it comes to design, you don't have to limit yourself to a single font, but try not to use more than two fonts and keep them in the same family. And by same family, we mean this: extra bold, semi bold, regular, light, extra light. Here we have used the headers with a Poppins font, and the body text is Mully. These are some examples of different variations of Mully fonts. A consistent elements are key. Design consistency creates the structure that user desires. Consistency is one of the most powerful usability design principles. When things are always behave the same, users don't have to worry about what will happen. It's like creating a list of rules for how a project will use color, type, size, space, user interface element, and interaction. It will speed up your design process. Now, sketch and scan. It's the best way to bring your design to life. It's easy. You sketch it in your old-fashioned way, then you scan it via your scanner or mobile phone. Finally, you import it to your Illustrator or Photoshop and use it as a background and build over it. It will help you a lot. Utilize flat design technique. Now, simple illustration convey direct message than detailed images. It works really great instead of an image, especially when you don't have one. Also, flat designs are easy to get. You can just head over to go to www.undraw.com. There are a lot of them are available. It is also used to eliminate white spaces from your design. Now, alignment. Now, take a look at the image. The fifth rectangle is not really aligned. Now, if it would have been aligned, the design would have been really perfect, but it's not. Alignment is really necessary. Now, let me tell you why it's actually necessary. Think of the shape for a moment. If you misalign any one of the lines of a triangle, it won't be a triangle, right? Now, imagine two scenarios. In the first one, you're standing in an organized coffee shop and peacefully waiting for your turn. In the second one, you don't know where to stand, when you can't even see where the line started. Which one would you prefer? Probably the first one, right? Using icons, using icons. Main aim here is to get the audience attention to certain specific portions of our design. Now take a look at the weather box. In the icon, below the icons, there is a picture and there is a weather box. Now in the weather box, there you see you have a small icon over there in the center of it. Without the icon, the whole thing was exactly empty. But with the icon, it gives us a way to know that it's, yes, that's weather icon. And also it's used to eliminate a lot of your extra blank space. Lines create style and impact. They are really, a line on its own can be very simple and effective. They are used as dividing portions in the design. You can take a look at the images. Most of the lines that were used here are all for used for separating different sections of the design. Now, as you start your graphic design journey, remember there are great things ahead somewhere down the line. Thank you. Now, Ritesh will take over from here. Ritesh, you can take over. Hello. Am I audible? Okay. So, so wait a minute. There is some issues. Okay. Okay. So, so my name is Ritesh Prasad Singh, an IT undergraduate from Netaji Subhash Engineering College. I am an active UI UX designer and a graphic designer for DSC, NSEC, and GDC Kolkata both. And I do a bit of machine learning as well. For more information, you can go to my website safer.dscnsec.com. So today we are going to see the brief introduction about the three tools, that is Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, and Adobe XD. So what exactly is Photoshop? Photoshop is a program used to create and manipulate pixel-based graphics. A pixel is the smallest element of an image that can be individually processed in a video display system. To put it simply, pixels are units of measurement that appears as dots or squares on a screen. Each pixel is used to make up the image that we see on our computer, monitors, mobile phones, televisions, etc. Enlarging a pixel-based image will cause it look blurry and soft. If you continue to enlarge a pixel-based image, you will eventually be able to see each pixel that was used to create the image. Now we are going to see the various applications of Photoshop. There are variety of uses for Photoshop. The most common use is editing digital photography. Many professionals photographers rely on Photoshop to make both basic and complex edits to their photography. Photoshop can accomplish tasks as small as sharpening a photograph and as large as adding an entire scene to the background of a city landscape. The possibilities for editing and manipulating photos are endless. Photoshop users go far beyond photo editing. Many graphic designers use Photoshop to create website layouts. Even I do for myself. Business cards, wedding invitation, marketing materials, and art for digital books and publication. One last example of a common use for Photoshop is digital painting and drawing. Many talented artists prefer using Photoshop for their painting and drawing with the use of digital drawing tablet. Artists can unleash the full potential of Photoshop brushes and drawing tools. Now, moving on to the next tool in our hand, Adobe Illustrator. Illustrator is a program used to create vector-based art. A vector is a quantity that has magnitude and direction, right? And that is commonly represented by a directed line segment whose length represents the magnitude. Orientation space represents the direction. I know the definition sounds extremely complicated, but the basic idea is that vector graphics use mathematical calculation to create art. Don't worry, I didn't really understand it at the first either, but I will promise it I will make more sense once you keep reading. In vector art, the computer uses system of math to make your artwork stay sharp and clear no matter how large you scale it. Although vector art is created using a mathematical algorithm, the user does not need to know or really understand that algorithm. The computer takes care of all the hard work and does the math for you. If you have a digital drawing tablet, you can draw your artwork just as you would on a piece of paper. The important concept to remember is vector art can be scaled infinitely and
maintain clarity, but pixel-based artwork cannot. Now we will see where we can use Illustrator. Illustrator is used for making art that needs to be produced at a variety of sizes. Logos and branding are the most common uses for Illustrator because they need to be scaled up and down to fit the size of the product. Logos can appear on the object as small as business cards and as large as billboards on the highway. Vector art isn't just limited to logos though. Most large scale printed media contains vector artwork. This includes posters, banner, clothing designs, windows, decals, and flyers. Like Photoshop, Illustrator has several uses. Many artists and designers use Illustrator to create resumes, mobile application layouts, ebooks, brochures, comic books, and many more. The possibilities are only limited to imagination and creativity. The uses for Illustrator can be very similar to those of Photoshop. The distinction comes from Photoshop being a pixel-based program and Illustrator being a vector-based program. Now the main part is why does Photoshop and Illustrator go hand in hand? Each program can create some amazing things, and when you combine the power of Photoshop and Illustrator, you get incredible works of art. The primary reason to combine Photoshop and Illustrator is to give your vector artwork a new level of dimension. There are some special efforts such as glows, drops, shadows, and 3D included in Illustrator, but they are very primitive compared to the tools available in Photoshop. Ideally, you would create the basic artwork in Illustrator, then import that artwork in Photoshop to enhance it. You may want to add true 3D to a character you created in Illustrator. Photoshop provides a way to truly refine your vector artwork. You must try both. Now we will learn about isometric illustration. An isometric illustration is a style of drawing which uses a technique called isometric projections. With isometric projection, any three-dimensional object can be depicted on a flat two-dimensional surface. As you can see the image of a cube, the cube below is an isometric cube, the basic building block for all isometric composition. And the picture next to it you can see is the isometric illustration of an apartment. So now coming to our last tool, which is Adobe XD. Adobe XD is the Adobe prototyping tool for user experience and used for creating wireframes, prototype, and sprint designs for digital products such as websites and mobile apps. Adobe XD is a vector-based digital design tool for websites and apps. Use it to create and collaborate on everything from prototypes to mockups to full designs. Adobe XD is relatively new to market. It was released in beta in 2016 and was originally called Adobe Experience Design CC. Some of you may know. The tool works on Mac and Windows machines as well as iOS and Android for mobile functionality. You can use it at direct downloaded the license or in the cloud for mobile devices. Now, who should use it? Adobe XD works for individual designers and developers wanting to create in vector format. Adobe XD also works for teams that want to create user experiences and collaborate on the process. You can even build a design system that helps keep everyone on track with a single project. XD works for all type of projects because it is scalable. It's backed by the security and infrastructure that you expect from Adobe and allows for specific user controls with business plans. Now, coming to its key features. Adobe XD has growing feature list that seems to get a little better with each update. One of the primary features for users of the Adobe products is familiarity with the interface. If you are a current Adobe user and just starting with the UX tools such as this, that can be a significant. It works with the other native Adobe files and use the same cloud storage. Ability to prototype using link artboards that you can see in the upper upper photo. It can be also viewed on the mobile devices as well. Repeat grades, which is again shown in the PPT. You can see here. Um, it lets you replicate elements such as lists or galleries. This is something that sets this tool apart from many others. Assets panel that allows you to manage color styles and components within a project. Design using voice command. That is, this is the feature that I like the most. Create and design symbols for logos and buttons, plus move them around using drag and drop on and between artboards. Keyboard shortcuts for faster workflows, including moving and resizing objects. I want to mention one thing, that you should know the shortcuts that will save your time. And automatic responsive resizing for objects on artboards, compatibility with custom plugins for extra functionality, mobile functionality for sharing and commenting so you can work on the go, ability to share designs and prioritize with others, including clients, in a secure environment, integrates with other tools such as Slack or Jira, automatically animate changes between artboards to create cool interactive content or micro interactions. So that was all my part. I hand over now to Varun.
Hello, am I audible? Hello. Yeah, sure. Wait. So yeah, if anyone has any query, then they can ask it in the what. They can ask it here. We will answer those queries. Hello. Or there may be a lag due to like this streaming issue. So okay, just if anyone has any query, then they can ask it in the WhatsApp group, and we will like solve it in no time. So till now it's okay. Okay. And also, I want everyone to know that there is an online UI UX challenge going on, named as Unified. So you can register there, and the last date for design submission is 17th April, and like the winning amount is, I think it's 15,000 rupees. So I will share the details in our WhatsApp group. So no need to worry. And like yeah, so that was all for today. Now let's take a moment to thank the people without whose help this would not have been a success. So like I would like to thank Arnab Bhaiya, who is in CSE third year, Ritvik Bhaiya, who is in AEI fourth year, and Anubhav Bhaiya, our DSC lead, who is in IT fourth year. So thank you everyone to like just helping us all out through the way, and we would like to thank the DSC outreach team for their constant support. And finally, to all of you who have joined this forum and decided to devote your time to us. So the next session shall be held on 4th of April 2020 at 7:30 p.m. and the topic will be on material and fluid design along with the UI design basics. So for this UI design basics, we will use Adobe XD. Okay, and now Anubhav will uh, take care of the rest. So yeah.
Hey guys, I'm back. Thanks a lot for staying in, and yeah, I'm really I'm back. Thanks a lot for staying in, and yeah, I'm really I'm back. Thanks a lot for staying in, and yeah. So we had some network issues, I guess, because the streaming quality was too high, and we will make sure that we take your feedback on this. Whoever faced a very harsh issue, please feel free to mail me at lead at dscnsec.com with the details of your network, right? You need to let me know what network you guys are on, so that we can do a consensus that this is the kind of stream quality that we should be streaming at. Say what you can do is you can go to fast.com or speedtest.net, and you can just test your internet speed, and you can mail that to us, so that we know ki, this is the quality that you guys are able to receive, and we will try to stream in that quality itself, right? Besides that, coming to this very interesting form that you can see here. So this is the leads interest form. It's basically for applying for the next batch of DSC leads. And yeah, so there's some basic information that you need to fill. Besides that, you will have to fill some information about your university, about the country you're living in, city. And yeah, you must be enrolled as a student at this university, and preferably you should be currently either in your second year or in your third year, right? Students who are right now in their fourth year, you are most likely not eligible, and even if you apply, there are chances you might not get priority of getting selected. So yeah, these are the things which you need to know. Besides that, guys, you will have to prepare a 1 minute video about yourself, right? If you look at this, it says there has to be a 1 minute video, and this video will talk about you, about who you are, about what you have done for the community, how you envision to take a developer student club forward, if in case you already have one, and if you do not have a DSC at your college already, then it will talk about, you will have to talk about how you are planning to set up a DSC and then take it forward, right? So this 1 minute video, make sure that it's very, honest, it's very straightforward, and you are sounding very well planned in this, because unless your video exhibits confidence, how are people supposed to know that you're actually a confident person, right? So this video is a very huge selling point which you need to make sure of. See that you prepare it well, and see that you probably show it to some friends of yours who can then give you feedback on whether you're coming out as confident, whether you're coming out as, say, overconfident. That could also happen. So make sure you do that. And besides that, you will also have to share your profiles, and make sure you keep your LinkedIn and get profile very updated, right? Make sure you have a proper bio, have a proper picture on them. In GitHub, you want to make sure that the featured repositories are very good, and the best of your work is displayed through that. In case you have developed any websites or mobile apps, you can share their um, link to the code, right? You will have to open source them, and you will have to put them here. If the code is not open source, then it might not be a great idea to share it here, because we do not know whether you have actually built it, or you have probably taken it from somewhere and just edited it out. You will also have to share your quick labs profile, And in case you don't have one, then you just have to quickly create one. Um, yeah, any documents, technical articles that you might have authored or that talk about you, then you can also put them here. It's a very great time to set up a blog and probably blog about some technical things and put them here. So don't be hurried in filling this form. Take your time. The form is open till 15th of May. So don't wait for 15th of May, definitely. Try to target the end of April by the time you will submit this form. Don't hurry, right? Please don't hurry. Take your time to fill this form because it has to be very detailed. I'll give you a good tip here that don't answer anything directly on the form. Copy all the questions to a Google Doc and put your answers there, and probably send that Google Doc to some of your closest people for or mentors or guides to review those answers, right? So that they can give you a very nice feedback on how well you have made your application. And you also need to talk about any leadership experience that you might have, leading in school projects, leading in extracurricular projects, or basically anything, right from your school till college, and even outside your educational environment. If you have ever had led a team, then please let know that you have done that. And it's a very good idea to also talk about this in your video, so try fitting that as well. um, yeah, here it goes. You have to talk about it. And how did you hear about Developer Student Club? So I guess you guys will know. In case for the people who are at DSC, NSEC, so guys, your answer will be existing DSC. Your answer will not be friends, faculty, or social media or YouTube, unless you have actually discovered it directly from them, right? About Developer Student Club from friends. So, in case you have heard about it from friends or faculty, then please do enter that. But people who are at NSEC, who we have directly contacted from our DSC chapter, make sure you select this answer because it shows that you probably have a developer student club nearby you, right? So yeah, this is it, and I hope you will all make the application very fruitful, and make sure that you present the best of you in this application, right? Because it's a very important application, I consider. For me, it has been a life changing experience, and I believe if you deserve it, then give some time, give some effort to this, and make sure you do not miss out on something which could have been yours, right? So that is all from me, and thanks a lot for listening to me, and thanks a lot for listening to this entire session actually. And the next time we have this, we'll make sure that we take into consideration the feedback that you guys provide on your network strengths, and let's see, maybe the next session will be even better. Thanks a lot, guys. Varun, please take over and do the rest.
Hello. Yeah, so thanks for joining, guys. And our next session shall be held on 4th of April on at 7:30 p.m. And the topic for that session is material and fluent design along with the UI design basics. And for this, we are going to use the Adobe XD software. So, goodbye, take care, and stay at home.